This video will demonstrate how to use the Otus Advanced Assessment question type called classifications. So I'm going to start by showing you some examples that I created on how it can be used. So this is student view, okay? And this what the instructions for the student are to drag the words to the words they rhyme with, which probably could have been written better. But anyway, so here I have three columns here, down, and care, and then I have this word bank here. So I would just click and drag clown near. So this one is very straightforward. I didn't do anything special to it. I just added my columns, added my words. It will grade itself, okay, because I then, told it the correct places. So this one is just very basic. Drag and drop into categories. Okay, and so I'm going to go to the next one. So this one, I chose to use pictures instead of words and drag the president to their affiliated party. So, kind of trying to think of ways to make this depth of knowledge a little bit higher than just basic recollection. So I just have the picture of the parties here, and then I also have the pictures of the presidents down at the bottom. It's still drag and drop, right? But for this one, the student has to know what the symbol is, and then they also have to recognize the president by face. So then they would just click and drag to the correct place, and so forth. And again, this one will grade for the teacher because I set up the correct one before. So that's how that one works. So this one's a little bit, more complex just because of the picture aspect. All right. And so I'm going to go to the next one. So for this one, I also kind of added another level of difficulty. I still have my categories at the top, fruit and vegetables, but this time I added a kind of a secondary level to it, and I had colors red, orange, and yellow. So not only would the student have to identify if it was a fruit or a vegetable, but then put it in the correct color. Now I know that that's a simple concept, but I would trust you for your content that if you needed a higher depth of knowledge, that you could have students, categorize it into two different things. So is it a fruit or a vegetable? That's great, but now can you go one step further with it? So just kind of giving you an example. So the student here, like a red fruit, they could pick strawberry and pull it up into the strawberry and or fruit and red. And same with vegetable, corn would go under yellow and it will grade it for it. So those just kind of three different examples of ways that you can use classification. You can get really creative with it. You can do all sorts of combinations of, I could have used words here and then pictures here. You can really do any combination that you want. So again, that is student view. So I'm going to now show you how I did that. And before I do, just this is that assessment, and I want you to look at the points because we're going to look at how to assign points to these in just a second. But the words to rhyme with only counts as 1 point, and then the others are 13 and 12. So I had 13 presidents for the students to choose from, and on the fruits and vegetables I had 12. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that some decisions that you make when you're creating this is going to affect the points that you have. Okay, so I'm going to just click the create button down here. I'm in advanced assessments, and I do like to give it a name, so I'm going to name it classification, and I'll just redo the fruits and vegetables one just to show you. And then click add new, and you're going to choose classification as the question type. And again, here you just put a basic question here. So drag the fruits and vegetables to the correct category. Okay. And so here is your column count. So we have one column for fruit, one column for vegetables. If you remember back to the rhyming words, I had 3 words at the top, so you can increase this column count if you want to. And then on the fruits and vegetables one, I actually had 3 rows also because I had the red, yellow, and orange. Okay, so depending on how you're wanting to set that up, if you don't want that second layer of row, specified, you just leave that as one, and then it'll all be dumped under your columns. So here you add your column titles, and again here, as soon as you click in here, you can add the words. So I can type fruit, or here's where I also added the picture. So if you wanted, like on the presidential one where I had the picture of the Republican Party symbol or the Democratic Party symbol, this is how I did that. You could just drag and drop. And you can have both. You can have words and pictures here. And there's all sorts of formatting options. And then vegetable. There. And if you want more columns across the top, you just keep clicking add and it will give you more. Okay. And then here you just add your possible choices. So you would add your whatever your choices are. And you can keep adding more, like on the president one, I had 13. On, I think the fruits and vegetable one, I had 12. And so also, as soon as you click in this responses box, you get your toolbar again. So this is how I added the pictures. You could add a link to something. You could add a table, all kinds of stuff, okay? But here's where I added the picture, and you just drag and drop in there. And then here is where you set the correct answer. So again, so it will grade for you. So apples would go here, beans here, squash here, and then I actually didn't finish that last one here. I'll put another, there we go. Banana. So that could be correct. Now, for grading, and this is important, you want to hit more options. I recommend on scoring type that you change that to partial match per element. So what that will do is, if you got the 13 presidents, for example, if they just misplaced one of the presidents, they only missed that one. Okay. Your other option here for exact match, that means if they have to get all 13 right to get any points on that question. So it depends on kind of your goal for it, but if they just miss one, I think they should get credit for all the ones that they got correct. That one would be partial match per element. Okay. And then also, that's why on the first question, if you do exact match, then that point value is going to be however much you have set here. Okay. So if you want each one to count this as a point, you just leave it at 1. So for example, I have 4 things that the students are going to need to put in the right place. So this question is going to be worth 4 points because I'm doing 1 point per counter. Okay. But if I do exact match, where they have to get them all right or they don't get any points, then I might want to make this a 10-point question. Okay. So that's how the points work. There are all kinds of other options down here that you can look at if you want to. So you can get kind of very particular about it. But if you just want kind of a basic one like the ones that I showed you, there it is. And I think there's a lot that you can do with this. You can get creative, make it, as complex and as rigorous as you might want it. And then you just click save and it adds it to your assessment. And then you just assign it to your students and you're good to go. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know.